On today's show, time for another grand Minnesota tradition, deer season, as hunters head to the woods.
Hey, welcome to the Caboose Camp. Let me show you around.
We celebrate the tradition by exploring a most unusual deer camp. Up next, a little electronic gadget that just might make you a better angler.
Put it on, huh?
And it's time to head to Lisa Erickson's kitchen to see what wild is a-cookin'. And later, our classic is a tribute to an outdoor legend by the name of Ron Weber. Ron made his last cast recently at the age of 84, but his legacy in fishing and the Rapala lure will live on. Those stories and more next.
Minnesota's select GMC dealers present Minnesota Bound. From the North Country, here's Ron Schara and Raven, the Black Lab.
Hi everybody, Raven and I welcome you to the show. Now it's that time of year again when thousands of us are headed for the deer woods and special places like a deer camp. Well, this deer camp you're about to visit is different than most. Bill Shirk has the story.
Every November, like clockwork, life in the North Woods slows to a near frosty halt. Just about that time, Bill Rogers shows up.
Pretty frosty.
Try to go out to Grandpa's old stand.
And so does the rest of the family. To the Rogers, November deer camp is a holiday. Bill celebrates his way
Quite unique.
in his deer stand.
All enclosed with the windows and doors.
Up in a cushy old chair,
Sit here a lot.
Bill holds down the fort.
I actually built this one down in Bonemia. Then we put it together in pieces and we brought it up here.
Turns out, the deer stand isn't the family's only curious build.
Hey, welcome to the Caboose Camp. Let me show you around.
Back in camp, a quick peek outside, and this story suddenly rolls out of the station.
Well, it's pretty unique. That's one of the cool things about it. You just don't see things like this anywhere.
The one that's off on the left here was actually like a boxcar type of a caboose. Burlington Northern used those for quite a few years also.
To understand the Rogers story is to go back in time to the old black and whites.
This was like in 1967.
Way back in the 1950s, the Rogers camp sat in the woods. Nothing more than a roughed-in tar paper shack.
That's back with the old camp on the other side. You got a nice big buck.
They needed new digs, so Grandpa and the uncles talked to friends who worked the railroad.
At that time, I think they paid $400
They found a deal.
for the first main original caboose that's here. And that was $200 to buy it and $200 to have it shipped from Northholm over to here.
Two sons wanted even more space in camp.
And they paid $178 for the caboose with the cupola system on it. And in 1969 they bought these cabooses and put them in here, and we thought we were in the Taj Mahal.
It was awesome because the tar paper shack was horrible to sleep in. It was hot.
Nowadays, life in caboose camp rolls along.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Off he goes.
The good stuff.
This is Gary's concoction.
Hot food on the table,
And it was a dry year, so they were all along the creek.
memories still made every day.
It's meant a lot to all of us over the years. You know, growing up, it's the way that we bonded personally with our dad.
The cupola area is what was kind of neat to us when we were kids. That's where we got to stay. You know, we all got shoved back in here, a quiet place for us.
They could still hear the buzz of life out in the main caboose.
We could listen to the stories that were going on down below at nighttime.
A life documented on the camp's old white board.
Kind of our wall of fame, you might say.
Notes on all the camp guests, all the deer harvested, who's come, who's gone.
But this is something that's very nostalgic to us because we've got it going back to the original camp.
The camp sits full of old memories. Just look around.
My uncle actually found it in a dump. And he thought every deer camp has to have a large mount.
Even the old outhouse found a place inside.
That is the burning of the outhouse. And we thought it was a ritual just to burn them and get rid of them.
So that's the story from one of Minnesota's most unusual camps.
It's my dad and my uncles that put this together.
A deer camp started by old-timers.
And it was quite a cool thing for them to do for us kids.
And still right on track.
This is going to be something for our children and grandchildren. It's here forever as far as we're concerned.
That is a beauty. There's a largemouth.
Awesome.
Hey, check out this little electronic gadget and see if it makes you a better angler. Does it work for our man about the woods? We'll find out.
Minnesota Bound, brought to you by Minnesota's Select GMC Dealers. Renewal by Anderson, makers of quality replacement windows and doors. Connecticut, better water flows from better thinking. And by Ice Force, proven hard water gear.
Up next, there's no doubt that fishing has gone high-tech. But now comes along something known as an app. Can an app really help you shorten the time between bites?
1968. Friday, November 7th, was a cloudy, windy day.
Journals document life.
Ollie, Smoosh, Pistol, and Alphonse drove up.
To Chris Carl,
starting at about 5 a.m.
Old Deer Camp chronicles mean more than words on paper.
The second drive of the morning was in Dickerson's Woods.
Much more.
And I would read them and I was thinking, wow, this is really cool. Willie shot 2 times at a deer but didn't get it. Ollie documented all his hunting trips. Ollie's next shot ended up with just a click as he was out of shells. There's a lot of stories in here that I still have questions that I need to ask my dad about. Yeah.
His dad's old journal sparked an idea.
We were all sitting by the campfire, and I brought up the idea of that, I need to start developing mobile apps. And I said, well, we should really journal our hunts or journal our fishing trips.
Chris, a computer guy by trade, fired up the Mac.
So it's a great way to preserve the memories, make you a better angler, but also preserve those hot spots that you caught all your fish.
To understand Chris's electronic brainstorm is to get in the boat and start chucking baits.
I can't hear you, it's too windy. Yeah, I'm glad we picked a tiny little lake. Anything big would have been borderline treacherous.
That's me.
We're entering the vegetarian category.
That's Chris.
Forgot to tell you.
And that's his brother Kurt.
My nickname is the Black Cloud when I get in a boat, so.
All right, this is prime spot here. Somebody do it. He got it, he got it, he got it.
Yeah, fish on.
Well, that's a dandy too.
That one.
It's a sled there.
That is a nice
sled.
In this moment,
I'm just going to record the catch.
Chris pulls out his phone.
Yeah. This is exactly why I like to fish in the fall.
That is a beauty. There's a largemouth.
Awesome.
And it automatically goes out and gets the weather for you. The GPS coordinates. You take a picture quick, you can rate it. And if you're with Bill, it's either a 4 or a 5.
He calls his phone program Fish Moby.
This is a 5-star.
I like the way you're thinking.
It essentially documents every fact about the fish catch.
And it makes it really easy to take a picture of it and store all your fishing memories right in your app.
Look at that fish.
And it stores all that information in the journal, and then you can customize it.
There he goes. Chagrined.
But not forgotten, thanks to Fish Moby.
So the goal is to make it really easy and spend more time fishing than journaling. What I really like about it is that anglers are getting excited about journaling.
Chris spent darn near a year parked in front of his computer making sure the program worked just right.
This thing is supposed to prove that you didn't lie when you were catching the fish, but you still can enter the data however you want. But the picture never lies, though.
Now, he's got people all over the world using his app. That's what smartphone junkies call those little phone programs.
I've had it out a couple months now, and it's fun to see the pictures that are coming in and people sharing those experiences, and it, with the look on their face, it seems like they're enjoying the app.
Oh, boy, you're right about strength.
In every hook set, another chance to journal.
Feels like a
Does that
hog.
feel awesome or what?
That is a good fish.
If,
Oh, he bit me! He's bit.
if you can get fish in hand.
Journal that one.
Wow, yeah, journal that one. That was a big too.
Darn it.
Kurt, you gotta land them. That's all. You better land it next time, because no one will believe you.
The black cloud is back. Well,
You whacked it pretty good though,
that's
huh?
fishing.
I'm looking forward to the future and seeing what else these apps can do for hunting and fishing.
You got a fish on?
Yeah,
But only after
little guy.
Chris gets a chance to do a little more fishing himself.
Nice. Now we're fishing.
A new age idea started with Dad's old journal.
Take it where my dad left off and add a new level of experience to it and keep the journaling going in our family.
That was fun, little bass. There you go.
Not only can it help you be a better fisherman,
I got a fish, and it feels like a dandy too.
you got all your memories in there.
Look at
That's
that!
what it's all about.
Nice. That's a documentable fish.
And we're going to make a grilled pheasant salad.
So, what's wild in the kitchen this week? Lisa is heading outdoors to prep some wild game on the grill.
Closed captioning for Minnesota Bound is brought to you by Joe's Sporting Goods.
Joe's Sporting Goods, the official outdoor store of Due North Outdoors.
For good reason, too.
Over 80 years in business, family owned, family run.
All my favorite brands and all the best equipment year round.
We need gear and advice we can depend on. That's why we choose Joe's.
Hey, find anything?
I found a few things.
Joe's, your outdoor experts.
All right, it's time to head to Lisa Erickson's kitchen, where as usual, something wild is a-cooking. All right, we're back in Lisa Erickson's kitchen. I'm excited to be here because, Lisa, it looks to me you're going to give me a little lesson on how to grill wild game.
Today we're going to focus on pheasant, and we're going to make a grilled pheasant salad.
Okay, this is pheasant too?
Yes, it is. I've already taken the meat off of the bone, and I've skewered it, and it's dripping just a little bit because I want my meat to be dry when I put it on the grill.
Okay, well, this doesn't look dry. What do you have it?
I actually marinated it in just some balsamic vinegar dressing.
Okay, looks
And
good,
so we're
just
going
like
to dry
that.
it off with some paper towels and go put it on the grill. And then we're going to spray it with some oil. And instead of putting it on the grates, I put it directly on my meat. I put it on the meat for wild game because I want that temperature to be really high on the grill and cook it as quickly as I can so it doesn't get dry.
When you say high temperature, you're talking 350, 400?
No, more like 700 degrees.
Really?
Yep, as high as your grill will let it go, and I warm it up for about 15 minutes.
All right.
All right, you ready to head outside?
All right, let's do it.
All right, the grill is nice and hot, Ron. I'm just going to spray the meat with some oil, and we're going
Okay.
to put it on.
All right. See how that goes? Perfect.
And we're going to turn it over.
And that's olive oil, right?
Yep.
Put it on, huh? Now, how long will that take, Lisa?
That'll only take about 5 minutes to cook.
5 minutes on
Yep.
each side?
About 2.5 minutes on one side and then a little 2.5 on the other side, maybe a little bit more. We'll check it.
Okay. Boy, it
Look at those nice grill marks.
didn't take long, as you said.
All right, our meat is all done. I'm gonna let it rest for a minute. Why don't you toss the salad while we're waiting?
What have I got here?
That's just some balsamic vinegar dressing. Just pour it on and give it a toss.
When you say toss, be careful.
Yes, but toss it in the bowl, preferably. It's fabulous, nice, crispy, crunchy. It'll go
Okay.
great with our pheasant. Boy, that looks good.
Smells good.
Now we're going to take and put our ingredients to kind of make a little bit of a twist on a Greek salad. I call it a Minnesota Greek salad.
All right, let me see it.
All right, and I'm just going to take and push off half of our pheasant on top of this salad, and I'm going to do the other half on this salad. Next is a little bit of my favorite cheese, which is feta. A few little pieces of tomato. They taste wonderful and they give us some nice color. And last but not least, another favorite vegetable of mine is cucumbers. They're already cut and ready to go.
Terrific. And that's it, huh?
That's it. How easy is that?
And you call this what?
Minnesota Greek salad. And that's my wild chow.
Coming up, our classic takes a look back at an outdoor legend, the late Ron Weber.
Minnesota Bound, brought to you by Ellsworth Cooperative Creamery, Hennepin County Medical Center, and by Seven Clans Casino.
Time now for our Minnesota Bound Classic, and this one is very special to me. Some time ago, I lost a very favorite fishing partner. His name was Ron Weber. Ron Weber first discovered the Rapala lure in America, and as I like to say, it became the greatest fishing story ever told.
Ron Weber, a fisherman, and the Rapala, a lure he discovered a half-century ago. Is it the greatest fishing story ever told?
I really couldn't ask for more. I was able to make a good living for me and my family, doing what I wanted to do.
If ever there was a fishing fairy tale, Ron Weber may have lived it. First, he discovers the Rapala lure, hand-carved in Finland. Then he makes a deal with a Finlander by the name of Lauri Rapala.
Being in the industry, I was prepared marketing-wise to recognize it and knew where to go with it. So I was very lucky that I found it. Other people had seen it, but it didn't fit their conception of what a lure could be.
It started there, and today we're selling Rapalas in 140 countries around the world. And we're a publicly traded company doing some $300 million in sales. And it all started really from that clothing store with a young tackle salesman in Duluth, Minnesota.
The poor Finnish lure carver, Lauri Rapala, wouldn't be poor much longer.
Based on my anticipation of the position he was in, I had a $10,000 cashier's check, which I gave to him. I said, I want you to buy some supplies, and if possible, build a little plant and get in production and get ready, because we're going to be doing some major business.
For 36 years, Ron Weber and his partner, Ray Ostrom, rode the Rapala lure to the very top.
I never had to go to work. Going over the office or getting involved was not work. To me, it was almost like going fishing.
It was Ron who really introduced the lures to the commercial marketplace.
Along the way, Ron developed other lure concepts, such as the Vibratail and other Rapala designs. Ron retired in 1996, but not before he was inducted into the Fishing Hall of Fame, as well as the Rapala Hall of Fame.
Ron was the first inductee into our Hall of Fame practice that we started about 5 years ago. Ron and his partner Ray, they were the first two inductees. We have a lot of respect for the founders of our company.
So what's the secret behind the Rapala? Why does it catch fish when other lures don't?
Being so light, it can have a very delicate action. If you take something heavy, picture a piece of lead, how do you get a delicate action of a piece of lead? You don't. Take a feather, you can get a, well, this is feather-like, and minnows in nature are virtually buoyant. You know, they can suspend at any level, and very slight movement will propel them through the water. So the Rapala's like that. It's very much like nature, if you will, with its delicate action.
If you think about it, that's all Ron Weber was ever seeking. In his trials to catch a fish, he caught a tribulation, the Rapala.
I always tell people, when they talk about careers and that, I said, you got to follow your passion, that's all. It's been a lifelong passion for me. And I think people who have a passion for something are fortunate.
All of which proves again, behind every good fishing lure, there's a fishing legend.
Yes, fishing was Ron's life, and I guess the rest of us should be so lucky. Well, that about does it for us. Remember, introduce a kid to the great outdoors, or maybe take them fishing. I'm Ron Sharon, of course, the star of the show, always, and she knows it, is Raven.
Guests appearing on Minnesota Bound receive gift certificates to Crave Restaurants. Fresh, vibrant, America. Transportation provided by Premier Transportation. Call 1-800-899-7433. For more information on these stories and more, catch us on the web at mnbound.com.